Peace. Salute, 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 everyone. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to the good family. Hold on one sec. Let me just get this in here. Okay. I think I'm good to go. Infinite blessings to the good family. I hope that we are finding each other in good spirits, right? Well rested, and feeling good on this lovely, lovely Sunday evening. I'm definitely appreciative to once again be back with my good family, talking to all of you and catching up with all of you so we can talk some good old boxing talk that we love, right? You know the routine, you know what it is every Sunday. Infinite blessings to you guys. Some interesting aspects I want to divulge with the good family today, concerning, of course, the topic that has had everybody buzzing over the past week since we last convened. Much has been unfolding, and much seems to be surrounded in, of course, attention, right? But definitely some skepticism going around in all types of ways, all types of directions. And I intended to bring, a good discussion for the good brothers and sisters and I to unpack, unveil, and of course, take a deeper dive into what some of these things mean to us from our perspective, right? But first and foremost, of course, I'm wishing you guys infinite peace. I hope that you've been well, as I said. And let me go on and do some salutations as the good family make their way in this evening. Infinite blessings. I see some of you trickling in so far, right? Infinite love to you guys who are making your way in. Let's see who we got first on deck. Can you guys hear me okay? Put a 9 in the chat. You already know what it is. Let me know that we are good. Let me know that all is audible and intelligible for you, right? That I'm coming through. Okay, I'm looking good on my end. Just checking here. Hold on. I'm looking good on my end, of course, but of course, let me know if you guys are registering properly. And while you do that, I'll go on and do the salutations. Oh my goodness, we got the King, Snoopy, Mac, 10 Toes first on deck in the building today. Salute to the King, Snoopy. Infinite blessings. He says, Dream Team, DHP. You already know what it is. Over everybody and at all times, King. Infinite blessings to the King, Snoop. Lovely to see you as always. Thank you so much for stopping through. I definitely appreciate you. Oh my goodness. Without a hesitation, in sight, we got the King, my twin, Daryl Anderson in the building. Infinite blessings. Big salute to the King, Daryl. He said salute to the beautiful queen, aka my twin, Sugar Free. Salute to the rest of the kings and the queens in chat. Infinite blessings to my twin, Big Steppin', as always. Lovely to see you again, right? Back to back. We had our discussion yesterday with the Rumination series. And of course, we back at it 10 toes today with some boxing talk, as we love to do. Absolutely, twin. Please remind the good people, get them 9s all the way up. Put a 9 in the chat if y'all ready to cook on some boxing. You know what I mean? Let's get to work. Let's get to work, you guys. Salute also to the King, Rodney James in the building. He says, SugarFreeMars, that healthy dessert. What's up, queens and kings? Blessings to you, King Rodney. Thank you so much for stopping through. Lovely to see you. Always happy to see the King Rodney. The King Snoop gave me some 9s. I appreciate it. We are all good in the building. Who else we got up in here? Oh my goodness, hold on. Hold on. Is this the King Patrice, my good brother, the King? In the building? Salute to the King Patrice. I feel like I have not seen you in some time, King. Lovely to see the King Patrice 10 toes on deck back in the building, showing that love with that radiant, abundant energy that he has. Let's see what the good brother tells us this evening. He says, salute, truth teller. Key and Shakur addicted to the camera like a cokehead is to the snow. They keep going on these racist streamers' platforms, helping them recreate modern minstrel shows. Jesus, is that how you step in when you get back in the building? You're not even gonna, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna spare us a little bit. You ain't gonna ease your way back in. You're not gonna lighten up on the bars. You came in heavy, heavy like that. Damn, Patrice. Not the goddamn recreation of the modern minstrel shows. I like that. And you know what, King Patrice, you ain't never lied. You ain't lied then, you ain't lying today, King, because that's exactly what we are seeing. Definitely a parody of warriorship. These people are making a mockery and a parody of what should be considered elite Black warriorship in the sport. And we're going to get to it, King Patrice. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming through. I hope that everything is well with you and yours, right? You already know how I'm stepping with the King Patrice. Let's see who we got up in here. We got the King Accurate, big stepping in the building. He says, salute great sister Mars and great family. Infinite blessings to the Accurate King. Salute to you, King. Lovely to see you. We got Mr. Big Play in the building as well. He says, good evening, boxing family. Good evening to you. Thank you so much. My twin gave me some nines. Mr. Big gave me some nines as well. We got some nines from the King Rodney. Thank you guys so much for, making sure that I know that we are all good to go. Oh my goodness, we got the King Stephen X in the building. My good brother, the King Stephen. You already know what it is, King. He says, infinite peace and blessings, Queen. Dream team for life. Yes, indeed, King. You know how we stepping. Okay. Infinite salute to you. Thank you so much for carving out a bit of your Sunday evening to join your sister in some wonderful boxing dialogue. I'm excited to divulge today's discussion with you all. Thank you so much, King Stephen, for coming through. We got Trauma GTV in the building. He said, what's popping, Queen? What's popping with you? Okay. Lovely to see you. Thank you so much for coming through. Oh my goodness. We got the dragon himself who rolled up in here. Salute to the dragon. He says, the Goofy Squad. Absolutely. We will have to find some type of name for them, King, because active ain't it. Okay. No activity. All inanity and folly is what they seem to be active within, and that is it. Nothing more than that. Salute to the dragon in the building. Oh my goodness, we got my good brother, the King Slim Hussein in the building. Blessings to you, King. Lovely to see you once again. He says, SugarFreeMars, the lovely. And the chat, peace, y'all. Blessings to you, King Slim. Always good to see you and catch up with you. We got Casual Clark in the building. Salute to the chat and salute to the Queen, Sugar Free. Thank you so much for that vibrant energy you brought up in here just now. Appreciate that. Appreciate the energy. The vibrations are feeling good, you guys. Salute, salute. Oh my goodness, we got one of my big steppers, one of my original gunners. The great Mike, ladies and gentlemen, just entered the building. Infinite peace, infinite blessings to the great Mike. He says, salute, Sugar-Free Mars. You already know what it is, King. Lovely, lovely to see you as always. I hope you have been enjoying your Sunday, that you had a good weekend, right? Lovely to see the great Mike as always. Let me see. Okay, so I think I'm good to start here, right? We'll see if, some more of the good family will roll up. But, in the meantime, we're going to take care of some business. Hold up. I cannot continue with a word to be uttered until I give my infinite salutations to none other than the beautiful Empress Emma in the building. Salute to my good sister, the Empress Emma herself. Big stepping with that wonderful, bountiful Empress energy. Salute, sis. She says, much love to the beautiful and honorable Sugar-Free Mars. Thank you, beautiful sister, the Empress Emma. I appreciate you so much, Queen. Always good to see you. Thank you so much as well for joining yesterday, to the good brothers and sisters who was up in here for me and my good sister, my beautiful sis Cammie's Rumination show. We definitely were so appreciative to chop it up with some high-level conversations with you guys. Emma was one of the ones in attendance, of course, 10 toes, because she does nothing less when she's in the building. Infinite peace to my beautiful Empress. Thank you so much for joining yesterday, and thank you for coming through today, sis. We definitely appreciate it, and I certainly do as well. Oh my God, speaking of my beautiful sis is in the building. Hey, beautiful sis. Salute to the beautiful Convos with Cammy Cam. That is my beautiful sis in the building. Big hugs, big love to my beautiful sis. Lovely to see you. Yes, the vibrations are right. I feel like it start, feeling good now. On a high. My sisters are coming through up in here. I got the good family coming through up in here. I love it. We got somebody named Jordan in the building. He says, salute to the goddess. Salute to you, King. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Big, 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 big. Lovely to see the good family coming through here. Okay. Now let's see where I can begin. With what it is that I wanted to touch upon with you guys today. Interesting stuff, you guys. I guess I could preface the discussion just by saying that it has been quite eventful, ladies and gentlemen, right? To say the least, of what we have been engaging with over the past week in these boxing streets, of course, concerning the gentleman on your screen. Hello, right? We got Shakur Stevenson, aka Shakur, the shook one, Stevenson, right? We got none other than the young king, Devin Haney, standing 10 toes as always, trying to, make all of these niggas food, right? And then we got ADD Davis out here just doing what he does best. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to say about this brother, but things are looking shaky, right? With the brothers on, the far left and the far right of your screens, ladies and gentlemen. What is going on with these dudes? You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of crazy things going on in here. And I think that as a result of the proposition that was made by DHP over the past week, brothers and sisters, as we know, that has brought a level of exposure to a whole nother level concerning the lengths and the methods, right, that these dudes will take just to avoid the smoke with the young king, brothers and sisters. That's really what it's a matter of at this point. It simply is not concerning anything else. That is the matter. That is what is happening here. And for some reason, I don't know, a lot of people are trying to take this out of context. They're trying to put another name on it as if we are not seeing wholeheartedly and unabashedly a level of motherfucking duckery that ought to be studied. That's how diabolical the duckery is operating within the current landscape of boxing, people. This shit really ought to be studied. It's crazy to me. I have been sitting back for the past week, gauging, scrolling, commenting, reacting, thinking, all of this stuff as I'm looking at everything that is unfolding. And for the life of me, I cannot understand, first of all, what the big deal is outside simply of a man that considers himself to be in the sport, the best in the sport, right? Among the top premier elite fighters in the sport, which is Devin. All he is saying is, yes, I want to compete. That's really all it is. Why are people making such a big deal about this as if it has never been done? Right? As if it's impossible to propose, back-to-back fights with two different opponents. That is not anomalous, brothers and sisters. There is nothing anomalous about that. Right? We have seen multiple people, within the sport of boxing within recent years that said, okay, well, I was going to fight this person and then, I'll be, under contract to fight the next person already. Right? Having two people signed up to fight you back to back is not anomalous, brothers and sisters. Why are people up in arms about this? And we're going to dive a little bit into that. But I guess I just wanted to initially open the floor and say, before we even get in, to the logistics, is that I do not find the pleasantries, any level of witticism at all necessary to be had or played with or assumed in any way this evening. Fuck the goddamn pleasantries, brothers and sisters. You see the title of today's discussion. Okay? It is what it is up in here. No sugarcoating. All right? There's been enough allowances made for this sassy, cowardly behavior. Too many allowances, in my view. Enough skirting has been had. Way too much circumventing around, calling things for what they are in boxing. I'm sick of it. No more pleasantries. No more soft talking around the issue. What it is, brothers and sisters, is simply this. Shakur the Shook One Stevenson and Keyshawn ADD Davis are fucking scared to death of Devin Haney. There. Somebody had to goddamn say it. The pussyfooting around it and acting like, oh, no, it's not that they scared. They just got other options. Oh, no. It's not that Keyshawn is scared or Shakur Stevenson is scared. It's just that you see what's on the horizon may actually be something else that they may have catching their eye at this particular moment. And so Devin Haney isn't necessarily upon the horizon. I don't want to hear no goddamn nonsense. These niggas is scared. In my goddamn Tupac voice. Okay? They scared. They want absolutely no problems with the young king. That's what it is. Like, can we be honest about that? My good family is always going to stand 10 toes on the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't need to mince our words. We don't need to play with our words, right? But we got a lot of goddamn sassy energy out here in these boxing streets, right? A lot of commentary and discourse surrounding a very cowardly perspective and upholding a very cowardly mindset as it pertains to the proposition given to both men. Why is that the goddamn case? Do these motherfuckers want to see some boxing or not? Do they want to go get manicures with these niggas, or do they want to see these dudes prove their stature? I'm here for boxing. I'm not here for nothing else. I don't care what these men do with their personal time. That's their business. I am here to support vehemently and passionately the sport that I respect and love unquestionably. That's why I'm here. I don't want the bickering and the banter and the sauntering around. None of that shit matters to me. Who is going to be proven? Y'all know how I'm stepping. And I know likewise how my good family is stepping when it comes to this boxing. Them dudes don't want no problem with the young king. They're scared to death. Scared to death. Let's not placate. Let's actually say what it is. They are scared to death of Devin Haney. Black Jesus Devin Haney got them motherfucking shaking in their goddamn boots. We got to be honest about that. There is no reason for this level of evasion. We have been witnessing just as a whole. You want to look holistically the past year, 2 years? It's crazy out here, but it's certainly been inflated with this new proposition that was put on the table by DHP. What is going on? What is going on? Okay? For all my cognizant, conscious brothers and sisters out here on this type of time, we know what it is because we stand 10 toes on what we have said and on what we have processed. Okay? Both of those chumps are scared to death of Devin. Any goddamn questions, ladies and gentlemen? I don't know what all the fuss is about. I have no questions about that. The proposition left absolutely no room for any questions. Why are people out here going, oh, well, could it be real? Oh, could he mean it? Oh, is he serious? Yes, nigga. What the, you think I'm just gonna waste my time out here making phone calls, right? Giving you an offer, talking to you about such and such details on when we can get it popping? Yes, I'm serious. What do you mean, are they serious? Yes. I want a motherfucking fight. What I just don't. Is that hard to wrap your minds around, ladies and gentlemen? Did anybody for 1 second, upon seeing that video of the legendary Bill Haney, present the idea to Keyshawn Davis in that footage that he had released on his Instagram, right? Did anybody, for once get confused about or befuddled about what was being offered, what was being spoken about, and what the end goal was? No, he made it absolutely clear what it was that DHP wants. They want to fight you, Keyshawn, and they want your goddamn big bro, your beloved, your betrothed, Shakur Stevenson. They want you and him. That's it. Everything that could have been said was stated. Okay, so that the only thing that should have been being discussed, was, well, when can we set this up, and what, how can we get this solidified ASAP? Keyshawn Davis just came off of a fight, brothers and sisters. What are we sitting up here discussing and scratching our motherfucking heads about? You get what you feel me on that, good people? What is there to be stuttering and stammering about? I don't understand the hesitation. So that when I saw that video featuring Keyshawn ADD goddamn Davis, you know what I'm saying, and how he was rescinding in his seat, how he almost recoiled, you know what I'm saying, even though he was trying to play it off, you know what I mean, as if he was calm, cool, and collected. His body language said otherwise, and his responses to the statements that was being given by Bill said otherwise as well. He wanted absolutely no parts of that, right? He didn't even want to call Jay Prince, that old slick beard jive turkey is his new nickname for me. That's what I call Jay Prince, the slick beard jive turkey. Why he didn't call the jive turkey on the phone to see, you know what I'm saying, the way he called, like my beautiful King BF had mentioned in one of his live show, when he showed us the footage and reminded us of how alacritous Keyshawn was about picking up that phone and making his old, you know, fake ass phone call to the jive turkey when he was standing in front of the young lion Abdullah Mason. Why wasn't he so readily available to do that and so hasty to do that when he had Bill in front of him? Why he didn't pick up the phone and call the goddamn jive turkey on FaceTime to say, hey, slick beard jive turkey. You know what I mean? Here go Bill, you know what I'm saying, calling me. What's up? He says he wants a 2-for-1 deal. What's popping? Can we get this made? Where was that? He had no energy whatsoever. Maybe because there weren't enough cameras around. Maybe because there were no cameras around him at all, right? That he was simply on his little FaceTime device and he did not have the camera crew, you know, to do a song and dance for and put on airs for. Maybe that's why he was so timid, because there were no cameras around to record him, you know, doing a song and dance and shucking and jiving, like my good brother Patrice said, in his own little minstrel performance, as he tends to do, right? But where was the energy? Did anybody ask that question upon viewing that footage? Where is the energy? This is the same man, ladies and gentlemen, let's not be forgetful, okay? This is the same man that was going to every mountaintop that he could find, as we know and as we have been documenting over these past few months, since the new year, real talk, right? Since his fight built up with Jermaine Ortiz. This is the same man that has been going into the middle of the goddamn ocean, looking for, you know, deep diving with the whales and the motherfucking jellyfish and the goddamn the starfish, doing scenarios and scenes in the ocean. Talk about Devin, where you at? He been asking the goddamn dolphins where Devin's at. He been going to movie sets, talk about Debo, where's Debo at, right? Supposedly and allegedly wanting the smoke. But meanwhile, when they step up to you like, yo, here's the offer. Here's the offer right here. Once again, because this isn't the first, ladies and gentlemen, as we know, that he was already pursued to fight at the start of the new year. And that was an opportunity that he ducked in order that he could fight Jermaine Ortiz instead, right? As the beautiful King BF put us on to, right? Some behind the scene exclusive information about that. So that he had already ducked a proposition to fight Devin. Here they are once again circling the block like, yo, we want the smoke, where you at? Are you with it or not? This nigga ain't looking for no smoke with no damn Debo now. Where's he at going to ask the whale? Where's he at going, you know, into the goddamn Lake Minnetonka to go find Debo? Debo right in front of you with an offer with something materialized and concretized for you. And you sitting up in your seat talking softly. No bass in his voice. He's not talking with his chest. Nothing, brothers and sisters. Am I tripping or not? You tell me if I'm bugging. Where was the smoke? Where was all of that energy that he was displaying in these parodies, in his minstrel song and dance on camera? Where was it when he had the legendary Bill in front of him? I just don't understand. Where was the huffing and the goddamn puffing? This is the man whose name you had in your goddamn mouth. I don't even want to say. I'm going to say pause before I even make that type of statement. I'm not going to do that to my brothers and sisters this good Sunday. Okay? But goddamn, this man been hollering this man's name like I don't know what. Endlessly, brothers and sisters. What is going on here? So that when you have the man in front of you, the representative of DHP in front of you, You do absolutely nothing. You absolutely say nothing. You are posturing as if you want to go somewhere and hide. Huh? Ain't this the man you goddamn been calling for? I just don't get it. I really just do not get it. And no one has been able to explicate that to me. You know why? Because it doesn't need explicating. It don't need subtitles on that shit. We see what the fuck it was. He don't want the problems. There is no way in hell, ladies and gentlemen, somebody is going to step to you that you supposedly and have been alleging that you want every ounce of smoke with, and they are there in front of you, and you make no attempt to exert that same energy when they are there in front of you. You make no motion to concretize and validate every bit of the energy that you had previously. All of that seems to change when they are in front of you. What, you got a goddamn change of heart? What's happening? What's happening? It was absurd. It was awkward watching that footage. It made no goddamn sense. Even goddamn Gilly and Wallow were standing there like, okay, are you on? Are you on? You know what I'm saying? Looking for his responses to show a sense of immediacy. No immediacy was in the building. What the fuck? All I saw was outright cowardice, brothers and sisters. I'm going to have to keep it all the way buck with y'all. Nothing but cowardice. Trying to roar like a lion everywhere he go, get in front of DHP and turn into a straight puss. A whole puss. What are we doing? Where's the rah-rah? Where's the alacrity? Where's the nerve, the gusto to say, yeah, I'm down with it. I can't wait. I can't wait. Whatever happened in the past, at the start of the new year, it was what it was. I want you. This is it. Let's make this fight happen. That's what I'm looking for. It's almost as if Bill had to kind of like, cull him forward. He had to kind of like persuade and like a kitten, like a little baby kitten when they get scared in a new environment. You know what I'm saying? You bring them home and they don't know where they're at and they go run, under something that they can find shelter within. And you got to kind of like wiggle a toy like, hey, little, come down. That's what Bill had to do to this nigga on the video. That's what it looked like to me. Bill is over here trying to get this nigga to come from under the goddamn couch. And he didn't want no problems. Absolutely no problems. It was crazy to me, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Now, it's just absolutely diabolical. And, people are out here acting like they did not see for themselves what it was that we saw, good family. Facts or no, I know you guys have been seeing it across social media and what have you. People acting like the spectacle that we were witnessing did not commence. Oh, no, he said, it's Devin that is the one that's ducking. Can you believe this, brothers? It's Devin. No, Devin's ducking. They want to turn it around. Devin's ducking, even though he's the one that is motioning, constantly motioning for the fight. People are saying it is Devin that is ducking. Oh, no, the offer he's giving them is to duck. Can somebody do the math on that? I am constantly pursuing you vehemently, indiscriminately, and unmitigatedly. Okay? For something, but I'm the one who doesn't want it, even though I'm motherfucking circling your goddamn block. I'm knocking your door down repeatedly, and I am the one who doesn't want the smoke. Excuse me? No, it's not the nigga that's hiding behind the goddamn door looking through the peephole, shaking like he got motherfucking Tourette's or something like that. It's not his ass that don't want to. I'm the one that's ducking. What type of logic are people really operating from? I really do question the mental capacity of a lot of folk that seem to be, on their high horses and on their platforms in these, boxing streets out here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't know if it's like the comprehension level. I don't know what is going on. The ability to process, to critically think. What is going on with these people out here? It's just absolutely crazy work. The things that I have been seeing across social media, ladies and gentlemen. I'm like, nah, this is not real, right? But the shit happens so constantly and so often that, I'm afraid to say yes. The shit is real. And unfortunately, us conscious, boxing fans have to deal with this. We have to sit down and look with that. We got to, respond to people in our comments. We have to listen to people calling in to some of, the shows of our favorite platforms like BF, like Champ Side, whatever have you, and just listen to these, imbecilic conversations, from these I don't know, like these contrived, diabolical, outrageous, bogus ass forms of logic that these people literally drum up out of nowhere in order to justify and protect the actions of the very people that they know are fucking up, know are operating on cowardly time. You get me? It's absolutely strange. And I don't see how anything prosperous can develop from a sport that that is housing a level of I don't know what, like, people want to hold on to fantasy. Is that what that is? We could run the gamut on what it is. Is it an obsession that is such to the point that these people are willing to jettison reality? It's crazy. It's crazy. And a lot of these people are all up in arms about this. Like I said, they want to turn around. It's Devin that is ducking. No, Devin isn't being forthright. Devin is counterfeit. Devin is the one that is false in some type of way. They don't want the fight, you see. No, it's not Keyshawn and the core's fault. No, so you see, it's Devin. He is the one operating sideways, so forth, etc. Okay, these people are all up in arms, but I don't understand the cause for alarm, of course, because it's, like I said, it's pretty simple, right? Are you with it or no? That's it. It comes down to nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. Do these niggas want it or no? And the answer is obviously no, right? From the reactions or non-reactions we have been getting from both Keyshawn and ADD Davis. I'm sorry, Keyshawn and E.T. Stevenson, right? So, I don't get it. I don't perceive why this has been so difficult to conclusion for people to wrap their minds around. That Devin simply wants the smoke. He wants to legitimize it. He wants to concretize it. That's it. This is the offer. Are you down with it? Go ahead and sign. Go ahead and agree to terms, and we can go ahead and get the negotiations popping from there. Ladies and gentlemen, didn't one of the, a couple of lives ago when we got the news that Devin had officially signed with Zuffa, right? We had the news breaking from the beautiful King BFTB, who was the first, right, to give us the official confirmation on such news, right? And excuse me, I had done a live, just giving my thoughts about that. You guys remember that conversation that we had? I think this was maybe two or so lives ago. And, going into the details of how gargantuan a deal that was presented to DHP, of course, the 100 million and stuff like that, and all of the freedom and the leeway that he, seems to have, as he stands to have so much room to be the ambassador, the face of Zuffa, if he wants to, so forth and so on. But that even beyond that, his personal gain from it, what he stands to provide potentially for his opponents, outweighs what these people would make with their own goddamn promoters or ventures outside of that. Devin stands to offer these people, he was already the money man in boxing, ladies and gentlemen, okay, offering people their highest paydays. But now, if we augment the fact of the Zuffa deal into the equation, what these people stand to make, ladies and gentlemen, is absolutely astronomical amounts of money. How the hell is it that these people could even hesitate for a second to accept the biggest, even beyond what was the biggest previously with Devin? Now that the Zuffa goddamn deal is on the table, ladies and gentlemen, he can double or triple that, what he was going to initially give these people. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So that the fact that there is any level of hesitation whatever is absolutely phenomenally unbelievable to me. Phenomenally unbelievable to me. How would these people, second step into, having second thoughts or hesitations? Opportunity to prove yourself on the biggest stage of your life and the biggest fights of your life and make the biggest bag that you could have stood to make ever? And Zuffa wants it? Zuffa wants you, and you gonna say no, and they're willing to pay for it. Like specifically Shakur Stevenson, because that's the fight that Zuffa really, 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 really was interested in. To put, I don't know how much money behind because that's what they wanted. In addition to Young King, Zuffa wants this fight with E.T. Stevenson, ladies and gentlemen, which means that they are willing to pay, right? And according to the news that broke out, with his deal, apparently that he got the $15 million per fight deal, right? So that they are willing to do that, okay? To get the fight that they really, really want at the top of the list for them, which is the fight with Devin Haney, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And that $15 million per fight deal seems to be what he is getting, but that doesn't mean that isn't going to be augmented with the perspective of the Devin fight on the table, so that with Devin, he could possibly double what it is that he made, apart from his original contract, ladies and gentlemen. So that there is bags on top of bags on top of bags. Brothers and sisters, isn't this the same goddamn Shakur Stevenson that, I want the big money fights. I want the big money fights. That's what I want. Whatever the big money fight is, that's what I want. Well, what the hell is the problem here, ladies and gentlemen? You mean to tell me that this man that went up and yelled at the top of his voice that he wants the big money fights and only the big money fights is going to bypass the biggest opportunity to make a bag and solidify a bag that he could only dream of? He's going to bypass that because his waist is too small? And, you really got to question people's valiance. You really have to understand what it is that is being presented to you when it's being displayed, when it is being evinced, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Let's not question the obvious. Let's look at it. Let's look at it and take it for what it is. These people are scared to death. Shakur and Keyshawn are scared to death of Devin Haney, ladies and gentlemen. These people are willing to bypass millions upon millions upon millions that they have never seen, that they have only counted while they was counting sheep in their sleep. They're willing to bypass these levels of money just so that they do not have to compete with Devin. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. These are the very men that say, I'm the best now. I'm the cream of the crop. I'm the best that the sport has to offer. These are these people, brothers and sisters. These are not no passive, I'm just getting in here. No, these are motherfuckers that's like, no, I'm him. I'm better than you. I'm the best at whatever it is that I do, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Yet when it comes time to get on the stage to prove that, what is there? A tucking of tails. Can you believe this? Scared to death. Absolutely scared to death. I have never seen anything quite like this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to cap. I cannot recollect upon a time. I cannot recollect upon, a pair of men in my memory who so outrightly trembled, teetered, vacillated in their seats at the thought of showing and proving their prowess as warriors. What are you, bunch of fucking children, or are you warriors? What is all the vacillating that's happening? Why are you trembling like this? I think you need to be in a different sport, sir. What is going on here? If you're not here to compete and show and prove that you are the best, that you say that you are, you need to step your ass to the side. Maybe focus on, going to actually retire. Because, these two niggas already screamed retirement. We had Keyshawn screaming retirement last year after his debauched, antics backstage against R&B Albright. And then we had Shakur Stevenson also yelling to the, top of his lungs about how he was going to retire at one point, crying and lamenting like some type of puss, like some type of chump. Right? So why don't y'all, maybe I need to go and actually do the retirement that y'all been motherfucking moaning and crying about. Because this ain't it for you, apparently. The way you motherfucking kicking and screaming about doing the very thing that you said you the greatest at do. It's diabolical to me, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even going to cap. Absolutely unbelievable what we have been witnessing. Sitting up here watching ADD Davis and the shook one Stevenson for months gasconade about how they're the best thing the sport has to offer, gascinating about, all the, how they have the greatest, they should be exalted for their skills, their prowess, with all the bravado in the world. Oh, I got, I'm so elite, weight don't matter one moment. I'm so elite, skills pay the bills one moment, right? I'm the superior next level type of fighter. All of the things that we have heard from top to bottom. And when the most opportune opening of their lives comes a knocking, ladies and gentlemen, not once, several times from the young king, because we already know the history with young king and Shakur Stevenson with the offer to Undisputed that he ducked, right? And likewise, we already know the offer that was presented, for Keyshawn Davis to have fought Devin Haney at the start of the year instead of Jermaine Ortiz, but he ran into the arms of Jermaine Ortiz instead. So that there are repeated attempts on the part of DHP to get these niggas motherfucking locked in to a fight. And they have ducked and evaded shamelessly tucking their tails, shamelessly sobbing, shamelessly complaining, evading, and running for cover. What is going on? Why are people acting like this is not happening? Why are people acting like this is not happening? I just don't like, you know what I'm saying? People are strategically circumventing the actions that are outrightly being displayed without question. I just, it's like, oh, don't look at what you see now. I know you see that, but act like it's not there. That's the perspective that is so profuse in these boxing streets currently. It's diabolical work. And also, since we last convened, good family, I have been hearing so many laments. Oh my God. So many illogical ramblings from folk. Like I said, it seems to me like when I think about this logic, when I try to put my mind to what is behind this logic, ladies and gentlemen, these people seem to be in their lust because they want so desperate. Listen carefully now. They want so desperately, this delusional bunch, to believe, to be convinced of the matter that somehow the young king is fraudulent. Somehow the young king is spurious in his offering of this proposition. Something about this is his fault, as we mentioned, right? Something's fraudulent and counterfeit about him because he is making an offer to fight. He's the one that is fraudulent. He's the one that is suspect because he is offering to fight two men back to back. It's just, it really is mind-blowing. These people have abandoned all reasoning, everything that is obvious and simple to understand. They've abandoned it because they can't possibly accept the fact that Devin is not mincing his words. Devin's actions are not to be misread because they are blatantly telling you what he wants, which is both of those chumps. He wants their head on a plate. There is no mincing of words. He is not stuttering when he is saying what he is saying. DHP has no stutter in their step whatever, ladies and gentlemen. DHP is proposing that both E.T. Stevenson and ADD agree to sign a deal to have back-to-back fights with the young king. Simple as goddamn that. It's not rocket science. The order does not matter to the young king, as posited by the legendary Bill Haney. Don't matter. Any one of y'all can go up first. Ass whooping either goddamn way. Don't matter. Who won it first can get it first, as long as you both can get it. That's how DHP is stepping. Either of them can go first. Doesn't matter. The goal is simply that both of them get locked in for the fight. That's it. Are you both down? Because I want both of y'all. Both of y'all. Okay? It's not astronomics that we are trying to, get into here. Astrophysics is something like that we are trying to process. No, simple as that. I want both of you. Are you guys down? What's up? Let's get it popping, right? Why are these buffoons out here in these boxing streets, brothers and sisters, out here making this notion to be something so tedious to grasp. Can anybody understand the reason? I will tell you the reason, as I'm sure my good family already knows. The reason is that these so-called fans of these people, the fan base of these two suckers, are suckers themselves. That's why they are doing all this, that, and the third, because they don't want to see them fight the king. That's the last thing on earth that they want, is for Shakur Stevenson to go ahead and go get mollywopped by Devin. And they don't want to see it for, who they've, adopted as their new beloved with Keyshawn Davis, right? Because he is tied to E.T. Stevenson. They don't want to see that happening. Okay? Now, I think that they will both get absolutely starched, obliterated by the young king. That's my thought. I'm DHP 10 toes. Okay? But that does not mean that there isn't the opportunity for something otherwise to occur. Does that stop me or hinder me from wanting to see the fight? Absolutely not. Because I think it'll be a great fight. Both of those men, Shakur and the young king, also Keyshawn and the young king, will be amazing fights. I want to see it, right? At the end of the day, I'm standing 10 toes with DHP, but I want to see good fights. I'm not protecting the young king from nothing. I want all the smoke that he wants and then some, because I believe in him. These people can't say the same as the so-called supporters of Shakur and Keyshawn. They support these niggas, but don't want them to do shit. Want to hold their hand across the street. Want to coddle and cosset, their preciousness. Want to what? Protect their chastity, as I always say. Right? They don't want them niggas doing nothing. Oh, let me put my jacket over the puddle for you to step on. You hear? I will give you the adulation, but you don't have to do nothing for it, Mr. Shakur. I will throw the exaltation at your feet, Mr. Keyshawn Davis, and you ain't got to do a goddamn thing for it. You hear? What the fuck kind of sassy ass shit is that? What is that? How is that supportive of the warriors that you say you back? These are the type of people that are out here in these streets, ladies and gentlemen. These so-called fans, so-called boxing supporters. The very people who go to the mountaintop to proclaim to anybody who will listen that Shakur E.T. Stevenson carries a golden crown, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, Shakur can't be touched now. You hear? His defense is impeccable. His skill set is impregnable. This, that, and the third, so forth, etc. Right? Oh, Keyshawn Davis has the power to pull lightning from the sky with a single punch. He got power now. He will demolish Devin with one punch. This is how these people talk out here. You heard it. And at the same time, can say all of these things, but are trembling at the thought. Anytime the young king's name is brought up, anytime they have a thought about that young king spinning the block, calling them out, standing 10 toes like, yo, I'm outside, where you at? These people start making all types of excuses. Oh, no, Devin don't really want it. Devin lying, Devin this, Devin, goddamn that, Devin that, to hell with goddamn Devin this, Devin that. Can't take it. Scared to death. Scared to death, ladies and gentlemen. Making all types of exceptions whenever it comes to the young king. And I'm like, if everything is everything with your boy, right? Whether Shakur or Keyshawn, what's the problem? What's really the problem at hand? What is the reason why you would in any way, brothers and sisters, speak against this fight? What would be the logic behind, in any way, whatever, speaking against this fight, standing antithetically to this beautiful opportunity to make some beautiful fights? It just does not make sense if you're a boxing fan, brothers and sisters. Why not take the offer? Why not take it? And if it's such that people want to have the logic of, oh, no, he's lying, Devin's lying, they don't really want the fight, call his goddamn bluff. Say, okay, yes, I will take that. I will take it. Yes, me and Shakur Stevenson, what's up? Where do we sign at? You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it. We're going to deliberate about it. We're going to have negotiations, right? Because we're going to make sure that we get paid properly. You know what I'm saying? Get wonderful, ample amounts of money, that, so forth and so on, right? And where do I sign? Call his goddamn bluff if it's so-called a lie, which is absolutely not. And they know it's not, because, they wouldn't disrespect themselves as fighters, as far, DHP wouldn't disrespect himself as a fighter. Bill wouldn't disrespect himself as a promoter, out here making a charade like, oh, he wants to fight and there's no real money to concretize and validate it. You know how they step in, and they wouldn't waste Jay Prince's time. You know what I mean? To, out here, acting as if blah, blah, blah. They are professionals. If they say something, that's what the hell that they mean. They are coming to you with the business. And they've got millions upon millions upon millions of goddamn dollars to back and validate and substantiate the offer. Okay? What is there not to take? Why not take the offer? That's another thing no one has been able to explicate to me of the people who have been out here with their lamentations all up and down social media, as we have been seeing. Why not support the man as far as those fickle fans are concerned? Why not support the fighters, the men that you say are the best in boxing? Why not support them? This is the biggest fights of their lives. They stand to make the biggest bags of their lives. These fucking fans fantasize about these men's bags as if they spending it with them. Cheerlead for the bags that they make, except when it comes to making the biggest against Devin. That's when the bag, oh no, we don't have to think about the bag no more. Oh no, it's not about the bag, no. Soon as Dev is in the equation, now we don't care about the bag. Oh no, it's not about the amounts of money, right? It's, the logic of it is really, really, really absolutely mind-blowing, okay? If these people are fans of them and they hold everything that they believe, that these men herald, why speak against them going into battle to earn and to prove themselves at the top of the sport with the best within the sport? Right? And once again, the answer to that is because the fanship of those dudes are just as much suckers and wimps as those two fighters are. Okay? They are reflecting the reticence of Keyshawn and Shakur Stevenson. They are a reflection of that reticence. Okay? Straight up and down puss. There's no other way to put it. And this proposition that DHP has placed on the table has exposed every facet of that. The skirts have totally been lifted on those cowards. Okay? Let me check in with my good family before we continue. See what you guys have been sharing with your thoughts. Salute to anybody that I may have missed. I went up a ways. Hold on. Salute to the King Devo. I see you in the building. Blessings to you. Absolutely beautiful, sis. Straight puss. Straight up and down. There's no other way to put it. This nigga's scared. Absolute facts, twin. Absolute facts. It's crazy. Crazy work, you guys. Salute to the King Muharid in the building. He says the shook ones. Ain't they? Crazy work. Let's see what the Great Mike says. Great Mike says Shakur fans act as if they don't want him to fight anybody. They say Shaq don't deserve it. Then with Devin, Shakur is suddenly a 135-pounder again. Nobody holds this dude accountable. Absolutely well stated, as always, Great Mike, with the insight and with the truth, 10 toes. Could not have said it better. That's exactly what is at hand. It's crazy. Beautiful sisters cutting up today. Absolutely. I hear that in my head right now as I was reading that. I hear it exactly in my head. That's exactly what it is, beautiful sis. Okay. What is going on with these dudes, ladies and gentlemen? And the fact that people are out here trying to cloak, trying to hide and mask, the outright cowardice that we are seeing. There really is no justification for the behaviors and the moves of these men. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said this proposal, as they mastermind, the proposition behind the scenes, it was the perfect thing to do because when they publicized, their interest in having both of them, I think that they knew that there was no way, putting this on a public platform would have allowed for them to kind of skirt around the issue or dance around the issue the way they would have liked. This totally exposed Shakur Stevenson and that old slick beard jive turkey and ADD Davis, ladies and gentlemen. Where can they turn to? The offer is the offer. Crazy amounts of money is on the table, right? Like what is there to divert from? What is there to be dissuaded about when it comes to, this offer? There is no lose within the deal. It's only a win, especially if you consider yourself to be that much of an elite. If you consider Devin to be, whatever type of light work or whatever have you, no type of challenge, or he's somebody that isn't insurmountable or whatever the case is. It's like, okay, well, go ahead and go make light work of him then, and you get to make crazy bags that you only dreamed of. You feel me? It just does not make sense in any way whatever, ladies and gentlemen, for these two men to turn down, off of the slick beard jive turkey, to turn down the option that they have been presented. Okay? It does not make sense at all. At all. Okay? The King Rodney says they're both trying to stall Devin out. 1,000%. 1,000%. RBZ in the building, salute. He says CBD. That are you talking to me or somebody else? You're probably talking to somebody else. Salute to you though. Oh my goodness, did my good brother just roll up in here? Salute to the King Blue Blood in the building, my good brother. Infinite blessings to the King Blue. He says peace, blessings, and prosperity to you, Queen. Thank you so much for those words, King. Always lovely to see you. Infinite blessings to you and your family. I hope that you are well, King. Always joyful to see you in the chat. Thank you so much for stopping through. I definitely appreciate you, King. Right? One of the goats of this boxing talk. Definitely an honor to have you. Salute to the King Earl in the building. Blessings and nice to see you again, Earl. He says, Keyshawn wants Shakur's approval so bad he is going to jump in front of a bus to save him. Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to get into Keyshawn, actually. That's a nice segue you just gave me there, Earl. Now, actually, before we get into Keyshawn, I think, you know what? Excuse my speechlessness, you guys, because when I think about when things pop up into my head, I really do get befuddled. I really do, because I'm looking at and trying to deal with the logic behind, the juvenility behind the actions that we are seeing. Now, did you guys see the lamentations that Shakur has been spewing all over his Twitter over the past few days, brothers and sisters? I really am asking and wondering if this man is in a state of lunacy. That's really what I'd like to know. Because it seems like this offer has really driven this man off the wall. First of all, he got completely outdone and made to feel an absolute imbecile in having last week to watch O'Shaquie Foster put the Beats by goddamn Dre on Baby Boy Ford, right? Even though he was praying for the downfall of O'Shaquie Foster, right? He had to watch his Baby Boy Ford get mollywopped from start to finish of that damn fight, completely outclassed, completely outdone, and shut out, right? And then he had to get, all the humiliation in the world, right? Even though he tried to save face by entering into the ring and doing that little exchange, banter back and forth in the ring, and O'Shaquie not letting up on the fact that he wants every bit of the smoke and he wants to do the fight next, right? So that completely had Shakur Stevenson, as we discussed in our last discussion last week, completely undone. He came out of his body. We never seen Shakur Stevenson so sporadic, so out of character, yelling at the top of his lungs, patting his weave, bopping his neck. We've never seen Shakur do anything like that. But O'Shaquie just had that man out of his body. He done gave up his ghost to O'Shaquie Foster in that ring, right? So that was 1 week ago. Fast forward to a week goddamn later, and DHP got this man motherfucking losing his mind. Shakur Stevenson ain't catch a break yet in the past week, brothers and sisters. And I think that, he's in a state of lunacy. This man just can't simply deal with all of this pressure. He is not used to all of this heat and all of this pressure being on him like this all at one time, right? In such a way that he has been exposed to this capacity and to this degree. Now, on Twitter, brothers and sisters, this man jumped on, typing 1,000 words a goddamn second. Did you see it? Talking about all types of things. I don't know. He's talking about, oh, it's me against the world. You feel what I'm saying? Oh, boxing tricked me into pursuing the Schofield fight. Did you see this nonsense on Twitter? Boxing tricked me into pursuing the Schofield fight. We're going to get into the receipts in a bit. But that's another crazy thing that he said. Motherfucking capping, right? About how he never received an offer for Undisputed. I mean, this man was just going off the rails across social media, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm sitting up here looking at the goddamn, posts. Like, what is this man talking about? He's completely off his rocker, ladies and gentlemen. It's just crazy what the things that he has been saying. And it seems like all the little justifications he's been trying to make here and there, because he knows people have been, heavily coming at him, heavily inquiring about the O'Shaquie fight. And now with the offer on the table, that completely blew up the boxing world. Everybody's in the frenzy. Everybody is galvanized, right? Talking about this DHP proposal, so forth, etc. Right? And it's like, what's going on? Shakur Stevenson cannot seem to cope. In other words, brothers and sisters, is your boy okay? Somebody needs to do a wellness check on E.T. Stevenson out here. This proposal from DHP, coupled with the fact of the whole spectacle, with O'Shaquie and knowing that pressure is coming from that side, has got this man bouncing off the walls, okay? Trembling and shaking at every turn. That's what it seems like to me from what it was that I was gathering from those tweets. I'm like, what? Calm down, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Just step how you stepping, right? You don't got no problem typing about how you the best at this, right? How you're Himothy up in these Boston streets. Go ahead and goddamn prove it. Why are you shaking in your boots when you have a challenge to prove that? You comfortable typing that, but when the stage and the arena and the carpet is set out for you to go ahead and prove just that, you talking tails. You dodging work. You know what I mean? This man can't tell up from down right now, brothers and sisters, after being stepped to with all of this pressure. Okay? And I find it to be nothing short of preposterous how this man, Shakur Stevenson, has been so shamelessly avoiding Devin. Same thing with Keyshawn Davis, right? But particularly with E.T. Stevenson for years. And once again, the shit is at work again. It's disgusting. It's disgusting to watch what he did at 35. It's disgusting to watch what he is doing now that he has sauntered his little waist up to the 140-pound division, ladies and gentlemen, right? And most certainly for the past year, let's take a trip down memory lane. Speaking of small waists, right? Because you guys know I like to highlight that nonsense, that folly, right? Keyshawn Davis has been on his tight and tiny tour, nonstop capping from pillow to goddamn post about, how he's so small and his waist is so tight. If he turned to the side, he could outrightly disappear before your eyes. That's how small his waist is. That's how small. That's how demure. That's how tight he is, right? We've had to hear this man make all types of statements and absolutely crucify himself in the next minute with his own contradictions and inconsistencies, brothers and sisters. I mean, just think about the things that we have had to sit through watching the folly of this man unfold. Okay? That old slick beard jive turkey Jay Prince got on his greasy soapbox and added to the delusion, trying to avouch for E.T. Stevenson, talk about, oh no, he's too small. He can't fight. He's not big. He's not strong enough yet. He's not ready. See, he's only 135-pounder. That old jive turkey. Crazy work. Both of them out here making stipulations to the young king to fight with hydration clauses, catch weights of 44, etc., and so forth. It's like, nigga, just say you don't want the goddamn fight. I don't want to hear nothing about no 144. I don't want to hear nothing about no 143, no 142.5. Stop calling yourself the best in the world. Because obviously you are not. And you are not because you are not willing to prove it. Stop saying you the best. I don't want to hear another exclamation about Shakur Stevenson or ADD Davis claiming to be the best of anything. but the motherfucking evaders of all evaders. That's what they're the best at so far until they prove otherwise. Stop the goddamn cap. You won't even push yourself. You won't even place yourself. You won't even show a willingness to place yourself in position to prove it. What the fuck are we talking about, brothers and sisters? Okay? And at this particular juncture, ladies and gentlemen, all of the credence that could be attributed, all of the skill set, all of the presumed acumen that Shakur Stevenson holds, all of the potential that we can surmise that he has, all of the viability that we would like to vouch for when it comes to them as fighters is completely out of the window for me until he gets in there with the best around him. Ladies and gentlemen, Teofimo Lopez, regarding Shakur Stevenson, okay, was a good fight. It was a good fighter and it was a good matchup for him. But Teofimo Lopez is not the best. He is not the best. He was the best on Shakur's resume. Big difference. The best on Shakur's resume up until that particular point, brothers and sisters. Let's not be misconstrued about the details. Shakur good and goddamn well knows that himself, even though he will walk around capping, right, and holding his crown because he was placed number 3 on the pound for pound list for that particular victory. But he knows good and goddamn well that Teofimo was nowhere near the stature that he had once been at, right? Because he had, he's not the Teo of, that Fort Loma. But that is what that is, right? Teofimo was still considered, a viable opponent, and I wouldn't dare take that away from him. Teofimo was a good opponent. I'm glad, finally, that he fucking got him on his resume. He should have got him on his resume 3 years ago, real goddamn talk. 2 years ago, real talk. You know what I'm saying? But good for Shakur for finally go ahead and collecting that body, right? But he knows good and goddamn well that Teo is not the best. Good fighter, not the best. And that is precisely why he chose Teo for his premier fight at 140. Yes, Teo had a belt. Yes, Teo is a good opponent, like I said before, right? But he chose him, brothers and sisters. He didn't go up there and choose Gary Antoine Russell. He chose Teo to get his feet wet with. All right? And let's also not cap about the fact that, we knew he was going to go up there and do what he did to Teo, which was molly rob him for round 1 to goddamn round 12. We knew that. Let's not front, ladies and gentlemen. We knew what time that was. We knew Core was going to go in there and make easy work, light work of that damn Teofimo Lopez brothers and sisters. Teo, once again, was simply the most significant name on his resume up until that point, and up until this particular point. I have posited that many times before since that fight back in January. Welcome to the motherfucking club, Shakur. I'm glad that you finally stepped up and claimed a significant name on your resume, finally. But that isn't a one and done action. It's not a one and goddamn done. Just like I mentioned to you guys last week, that he seems to want to sit pretty and prim and be admired for his feat against Teofimo Lopez. He wants to sit and be admired for it. Oh, I don't have to go any further. You see, I beat Teo. Because of that victory, I am number 3 on, the good old boys lists, right? I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to go further or beyond to prove or vouch for my credence. It's not true. You got to keep going, as we discussed last week. Go ahead and go get to work. Doesn't stop at Teo. Whoop-de-goddamn do. You mollywopped him as we expected you to, on to the motherfucking next. You understand? So that he has yet to call the name of Gary Russell, brothers and sisters. What's popping with that? He has not even officiated his return to 135, if that's something that he is going to be doing, which we presume at this particular point that he will, right? That it's looking like that, because he was entertaining allegedly the Mortala fight or whatever before Mortala signed on to fight someone else, right? He jumped in the ring with O'Shaquie Foster, right? O'Shaquie been gunning for this man unrelentingly, only for him to turn and go back into hiding. What's going on? First of all, let's resonate a little bit on the O'Shaquie thing, brothers and sisters. We are only a week removed from that fight. Where the fuck is Shakur and all of his bickering and bravado about O'Shaquie? That shit came and goddamn went. O'Shaquie, of course, is still with it, still looking for, to get him. Shakur he's not even saying O'Shaquie's name right now. Only been a week. Only been a week, brothers and sisters, and still no offer was sent to O'Shaquie. Didn't we discuss this last time, brothers and sisters? Doesn't take 1,000 years to drum up a goddamn offer to begin opening the floor for negotiations to be had based upon an offer. What's going on? How did that die down in 7 days? So you went in the middle of the ring to curse him out like some ratchet bitch, only to tuck your tail and hide from him? No follow-up, no goddamn follow-through. So you just went in there to argue like a toxic baby mama? What is going on? What was the point of you getting in the ring if that was the case? Do you get me? You get me, brothers and sisters? What was the point of him getting into the ring if there was not going to be a follow-up, a follow-through, a proposal of his own from himself and the Slick Beard Jive Turkey? Said, get the damn Slick Beard Jive Turkey, have him and have his people write up a goddamn offer. You know what I'm saying? Send it over and get it popping. Since you scared to death of the young king, and since that you were entertaining a fight with Moratala, you know what I'm saying, at 35 or whatever have you. Now this nigga's talking about Lamont Roach, which we'll get into in just a second, which is so diabolical on every level you can conceive of. So that you're obviously eyeing 135. What's his name? Lamont Roach got a fight coming up at 35 against Zepeda. Your goddamn leftovers, so that you're banking on Lamont Roach to win that fight so that you can line up a fight with, we're going to get into that in a second. But obviously, long story short, brothers and sisters, this man is looking and flirting with 135, going back to 135, as he had already told us that he was going to do. Oh, I'm going to have one fight at 140 against Tito, and I'm going to saunter my way back down to 135. Why has this nigga, first of all, been holding the belt since January, if that's the goddamn case? Drop the belt and take you in that small waist that you think you have back to 135. Why are you stalling? Right? And if you are going to 135, why the fuck are you so reticent about sending an offer, if that's the case, to the man who just went in there and argued with like some motherfucking jealous ass, side piece? You went in the ring and argued with O'Shaquie, you know what I'm saying, on some ratchet shit. What was the point of the spectacle? Brothers and sisters, he tucked his tail and he said nothing else following that back and forth exchange in the ring, because he ducked. That's what that was. He knew he was going to duck, and he ducked. He sauntered his way out of that ring with all intentions to never revisit that conversation again against O'Shaquie. Why? Because he is puss. Puss. Take that for what the fuck you want. I said what I said. Puss. Got in there, did all that goddamn bickering. You over here eyeing and skirting with and flirting with 135, skirting around the idea of 135. Meanwhile, Shaquie's telling you, I will come up to 40 if need be. And it's unquestionably on the table for me to go to 135, and you want no part of it. You ducked him in 7 days, less than 7 days it took for him to duck O'Shaquie. What's going on here? And people are acting like they don't see what's happening. You know what I mean? This state of lull that you are witnessing right now, ladies and gentlemen, from Shakur Stevenson, as far as that whole O'Shaquie thing is concerned, is an outright and blatant duck of that man. He ducked O'Shaquie, ducked. Because if he can entertain anything at 135, there is no reason why he should not have sent an offer to O'Shaquie. That is the fight that people will highly anticipate should he go back down to 135 above anybody else. People were galvanized at the prospect of the fight with O'Shaquie. That is the only fight of real significance and real substantial energy that people will be invested in is him and Oshaki at 35. If he would, is entertaining going back down there. Him and Oshaki at 40. Him and Oshaki, period. Okay? The way that generated was such that, people find that viable, a viable, credible fight. Okay? He don't want no part of it. He ducked. Okay? Now, this motherfucker, Shakur Stevenson, just a day or so ago, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, is now courting Lamont Roach for a fight, which is just absolutely ludicrous to me. That's why I said he seems to be in a state of lunacy, right? You just had a motherfucker that you was cursing out and saying that you could beat and ain't nothing to you, and you will knock him out in 4 rounds, right? And now you talk about Lamont Roach in a tweet. I got the receipts for you guys, brothers and sisters, in just a second. But let's cook on this. Lamont Roach is who he just called out, I want to say yesterday or the day before on Twitter, right? Mind you, this is the man that he's apparently cool with. Lamont Roach is apparently an honorable member of the Bumbasher crew, ladies and gentlemen. He's an honorable member. He has been welcomed in. I don't know if he has been certified, as a part of the Wactive Squad crew, the Brady goddamn bunch, the Dudley brother crew, or whatever have you, whatever name you want to give them, right? But that he's an honorable member because Shakur Stevenson is quote unquote cool with him. Now, he tweeted lovingly about how he respects Lamont Roach. Oh, I'm cool with Lamont Roach. But the irony here, ladies and gentlemen, is that even though he is doting over this man, Lamont Roach, in this particular tweet that he just released, somehow he's cool with this man, but he found the wherewithal to want to fight him, to entertain the possibility of a fight with him, even though he is friendly with him. So that he's going to bypass the friendly love affair that he has with this man, in other words. Enough to the point that he is going to offer him a fight. Brothers and sisters, can somebody make that make sense? I thought that sucker don't fight his friends. I thought he don't fight his friends, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing? I thought we don't put the hands on the friends. Isn't that what the whole song and dance was about? The whole, dramatics of it, the, hyperbolic gestures, and there's no amount of money on the world now that'll make me place my hands upon him. Right? What are we doing? Fighting friends now. Isn't Lamont your friend? You writing motherfucking love goddamn tweets to this man about how you respect all the adulation and stuff like that, but now you want to get busy with him in a fight? What's going on? So we do fight friends, apparently. Is that right? Are we missing something here, you guys? This dude is such a chump. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, and it's disheartening to witness because we have considered him to be, among the premier. You understand what I'm saying? So that in looking at this, oh my God, it's just like watching a tower fall. Like, what are you doing, bro? This stuff is so unnecessary. You seem to have what it takes. Why are you operating in this vein? It does not make sense. It does not make sense. And it's so diabolical and so juvenile, really. These motions that are being made. You really just got to sit back and laugh a little bit at the same time as you're sitting there in sheer disgust. While we sit in sheer disgust and sheer disbelief, there's a little part of me that has to chuckle a little bit at it because it's so diabolical, so inexplicable. That it's like you cannot make this up, okay? You really just can't. The absurdity is astounding, ladies and gentlemen. Now, worse yet, in addition to all of this folly, what I also see is the play at hand, brothers and sisters, okay? This man is going to go after Lamont Roach. This man is going to go after an op that he feels superior to. That's the point of this. He's entertaining Lamont Roach in a fight, supposedly, according to him, right? He's trying to cajole his way into a fight with Lamont Roach because what? Because he feels superior in his skill set to Lamont Roach. That's why he's approaching that. He feels that he can get the better of Roach, in other words, ladies and gentlemen. That's the only reason why you see this courting happening right now. Oh, Lamont Roach. We've heard him call out Lamont Roach before. This isn't the first time, right? He had called Lamont Roach, I want to say, end of last year, fall of last year. He started having those talks. Oh, Lamont, I will fight him. I think he's a hell of a fighter. We saw him on the podcasts, talking about Lamont Roach and stuff like that. And so now he is reiterating that he has picked that up and is talking about that again. He is watering that seed again about Lamont Roach. Okay, but that it's because he feels he can get the better of him. That's why he is calling his name so lovingly in this particular tweet, brothers and sisters. That is why he is speaking so softly about Lamont Roach and entertaining a fight with him, even though he is supposedly friends with the man. Right now, he did the same thing. If you want to take a trip down memory lane really quickly, wasn't he speaking cajolingly, coquettishly to Conor Benn? Let's think about this, brothers and sisters. He's speaking lovingly, softly to Lamont Roach, a man who he is now entertaining a fight with, supposedly. And he spoke just as lovingly and softly to Conor Benn. Right? Oh, I respect you. And Barbie Benn, I respect you too. Right? All this, that, and the third. They respect each other. They hate each other. They respect each other. They hate each other, right? But all the while, it doesn't stop them from entertaining a fight and exchanging compliments in addition to some whatever competitive words there are, right? But we know that Shakur Stevenson was pursuing Barbie Benn because he felt like he could get the better of him too. Let's not cap. As soon as E.T. Stevenson starts talking coquettishly to a fighter, ladies and gentlemen, soon as this man begins whispering all types of sweet nothings, showing signs of affection and respect, so forth, etc., it is because you know that he has chosen a target that he can easily snag. That is why. That is why, because he feels he can get the better of them. This man, brothers and sisters, he does not talk like that to the people who he know got the work for him. He has beef with them. He speaks with knives on his tongue when it comes to people he considers and knows to be a challenge or a threat. There is no soft talking when it comes to those types of men. He got all the sugar in the world when it comes to talking to Conor Benn, when it comes to talking about Lamont Roach all of a sudden. Okay? We know the people that he largely considers to be a threat. And we can tell, who those people are or what that energy entails, because we can easily point out the distinction in energy. We can see who he does not speak lovingly to, affectionately to, respectfully to, ardently to, or fondly of. And we can tell who are the people who pose a challenge. All right? Let me show you this tweet really quickly. Hold on. Here we go. Take a look at your screen. Really briefly, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? You want to take a quick gander at that? Let me remove this really quickly. Okay? We have Shakur Stevenson, right? Talking about, I'm not into fake beef with people I've been cool with for years, all for social media. I got integrity. I'm cool with Lamont Roach. That's his handle. I'm cool with Lamont Roach, but I plan on whooping his ass. When we fight, we gonna rock out soon, champ. Time cutting short. Do you hear this? Do you hear this, brothers and sisters? First of all, here goes the honey. Honey all over this tweet. Oh, I'm not into fake beef with people that I done been cool with for years now, you hear? Right? I'm not into the, I got integrity. I am so cool with Lamont Roach. First of all, let's take a look at all the sugar that this man put on this tweet. He don't got no sugar for Oshaki. Oshaki don't get no sugar. The young king definitely don't get no goddamn sugar. Okay? Because they want the smoke. Because they want to behead him. And he knows that. No sugar for those two. We got all the sugar in the world, though, for this dude, Lamont Roach, who I feel I can get the better of. Right? Here's the example, ladies and gentlemen. Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Right? And let's also look at the second half of the folly. Okay? Which is, but I plan on whooping your ass, this, that, and the third. So it's like competitive banter. I got respect for you now. Here's the honey. Here's the honey for you. But I want to compete with my friend. Where was all of this goddamn ability to put the friendship aside, to sidestep the friendship when it comes to ADD Davis? Where's his ability to use discernment? Where is his ability to to partition when it comes to ADD Davis? There are no partitions in his mind. There is no dichotomy between what is friendship and what is, just competitive sportsmanship. There is no dichotomy in his mind when it comes to that. He is not able to divide that particular logic, apparently, and supposedly when it comes to ADD, but he can put the friendship aside. He can sidestep all of that now when it comes to Lamont Roach, allegedly. Do you see the folly of this, ladies and gentlemen? Absolutely crazy work. Absolutely crazy work to me. Okay. And in addition, like I said, all of this is, equally crazy, considering the fact that this man was 1 week ago in the ring with the man who offered to fight you at 35, offered to fight you at 40, offered to fight you wherever you motherfucking stand. You were just in the ring with him, telling him you'd knock him out in 4 rounds. But you're courting Lamont Roach, brothers and sisters. It's just, the level of absurdity here. The level of absurdity here is just astounding to me. Absolutely astounding to me. I'm not even going to cap about that. Right? Core, he seems to be going from one debauched fumble to the next. You know what I'm saying? And it's been a pattern that has been repeated, for the past year, through and through, particularly, when he made the stipulation, or the supposition rather, to counterband that kind of snowballed into everything that we are at now. It kind of culminated to everything that we see now. Beginning with the folly of him saying that he'd go to 54 and then having to retract his statements because people started demanding. Get this. Did you guys see this man acting as if it were the fans who demanded, who stipulated, required, necessitated, and mandated his entry into the welterweight division? Do you guys know that this man is blaming the fans as being the ones who demanded that? Who put that on the table, whose idea it was for him to venture into welterweight? Can you believe this? Can you believe this? I'm going to put something on your screen again, brothers and sisters, and I would love for you to make your posit on this. I'd love for you to make your posit on this. Let me find this for you, you guys, because you really just can't make this up. Take a look at your screen, brothers and sisters. Take a look at your screen. This man, Shakur Stevenson, tweeted only a few days ago. So according to y'all, meaning the fans, right? So according to y'all, I'm ducking 130-pounder and 147-pounder at the same damn time? Yeah, okay. Oh, God. It's just, it really is just beyond reasoning. Beyond reasoning. So the man with the smallest waist on the planet, that he can give me a run for my money. You know what I'm saying? He can give my good sisters up in here a run for our money as far as who is the snatching, who is the cutest thing around, right? He's so small, but he is now lamenting, brothers and sisters, about supposedly ducking a 130 pounder, right? And it is us, a 147 pounder at the same time, because he did not ever a day in his life make the supposition, make the offering of going up to 147 and even 154 for Smoke if the quote unquote money was right. It's us out of nowhere erratically making these judgments, erratically putting these stipulations upon him for 147 and so forth and so on. Do you see where I'm getting at here? You tell me what you think about what's on your screen. This man has completely lost his cotton-picking goddamn mind, brothers and sisters. That's what it looks like to me. Oh, allegedly, I'm ducking a 130 pounder and a 47 pounder at the same time. Yeah, all right. Huh? First of all, these are the two men you have history with. You got history with Oshaki. When you was down at 130, Oshaki wanted to smoke with him. You bounced. You left the division when you could have got it popping with him. You up and moved up to what you came up to 35. It was what it was. You already know what time it was when you got up in the King's house. 135 was owned by Devin Haney, the undisputed champion. Became undisputed there. Offered you the opportunity to get that work. You ducked again. The fanship that's out here demanding and placing energy around you fighting Oshaki Foster and, of course, the young king Devin Haney are not erratic. Are not erratic in their questioning, in their inquiries into these particular fights. You said you can knock out Oshaki. Did he not? Just last week. Or I'll knock you out, in 4 rounds. Let's get it. We can get it. And Oshaki's like, all right, let's do it next. Wanted to shake your hand. You were so puss. You didn't even shake that man's hand because you knew you was going to duck him. Just like I said last week. Now here he is sniffing up Lamont Roach's ass to get away from that work once again from Oshaki. Just like he's hauling ass from what it seems once again from the young King Devin. That's what I said. I'm not sugarcoating a goddamn thing. That's exactly what I am perceiving as I'm looking at this information. What are you talking about? Oh, it's like, these random fans want me to go from a 130 pounder to a 147 pounder because they are so bogus, so outlandish. You know what I'm saying? They're unhinged. They don't know anything about boxing. They don't know who they want me to fight. They just want me out here fighting random people. No, nigga, these are the two men who got smoked with you. One you was in the ring with last week, posturing against, saying it's easy work for you, that you get him out of there in 4. And the other one you ducked outrightly for undisputed. The biggest accomplishment that any fighter could achieve in the sport of boxing was offered to you by DHP. You avoided it and had the gall to, assume this lie that you are too small to fight him. Meanwhile, you are flirting with Barbie Ben about going up to 154 and feeling stupid and made a fool of when fans said, well, if you can go to 54, why the fuck can't you fight Devin at 47? And that's when he made up this lie about the small back and the small waist and I'm too tiny and it's too big and they too big for me. What are we doing? What are we doing? You get me? It's absolutely crazy work. That's why I say he lost his ever-loving mind. This man has resorted to stating that it is the boxing fans that are out of whack. The boxing fanship is out of order. The cognizant one who is paying attention and making their posits and inquiries into these inconsistencies. We are the ones who are random in our thoughts and in our requests, in our mandates for explanations surrounding these inconsistencies, so forth, etc. Okay, it is the boxing fanship. It's us that told him to go up to 47, that told him, to make the option available to him to fight Conor at the higher weights. It's us that did that. He didn't posit that himself. It wasn't his idea. Never mind the fact that he is flirting outrightly, publicly on a podcast about how great he is, that weight does not matter. I will go to 54 to fight Conor Benn if the money was right, because I know I could beat him. And here we go once again with the mindset that I know, or I presume, that I can get the better of this man, that I am willing to go so far as to jump up to 54 because I know I could beat him. Why is he not alacritous when it comes to the people that are a challenge for him? It means nothing if you think you can get the better of what's his name at 54. If you will outdo him, outshine him, outclass him, if you don't even consider him to be the best. One minute he's saying he respect goddamn Conor Benn in an interview. The next minute he's saying, oh, I can't learn nothing from this man. He's so whack. I'll make easy work of you, so forth, etc. But you know you can't make easy work, so forth, etc. with the young king, right? You do not believe that you can make easy work, so forth, etc. when it comes to the King O'Shaq. That's why there is no sugar on your words when it comes to them. That's why you are not alacritous about taking on the challenge to fight either of them at whatever weight class. Okay? And there's no excuse when it comes to O'Shaq, who had offered to come to meet you where you are. Okay? So that, you know, we are so unhinged, apparently, as fans, so utterly erratic that we just want him hopping from one class to the next, from motherfucking lightweight to goddamn heavyweight. That's what the fanship, allegedly, according to his logic, is asking and demanding of him. Right? Crazy, crazy work. And you just can't make this stuff up. Nobody forced this man to go and volunteer his motherfucking services. Nobody told you to get in the goddamn volunteer line for Barbie Ben. You did that. And when we asking questions, you got a problem with it and trying to switch up and make all these new counter arguments and counter theses to add. Why is this thing capping? He doesn't want to be held accountable. He doesn't want the holes in the game called out. Too goddamn bad. Because if there's people like me 10 toes in the building, that's exactly what you're going to get. And yes, we are going to demand that you fight the best, because whoever is considered the best in and around your division, you should be wanting smoke with. Mr. I'm the best in the world. Go ahead and go get that. Go ahead and go do what you said last week, which was, you know, take O'Shaq out in 4 rounds. I'd like to see it. Go ahead and go do that. Why say it if you have no intention or wherewithal to make that, you know, come to fruition? You just talking. And once again, this is exposed for just talking. You exposed. You can't say in a matter of 1 week, oh, I'm going to knock you out in the 4th round, let's line it up, and then haul ass and tuck tail and start flirting with goddamn Lamar Roach. Who's at 35? The very weight class that you could easily make the fight with O'Shaq at. His simple ass is the one who postulated that. Don't get mad at the fanship for calling you out and expecting you to show improve there or to exact that which you spoke of. He offered up his own goddamn services when he said that he can go up to 54. And you're mad at the contradiction that you posed to yourself. Hence all the, the counter responses about rehydration clause and I'm too small and all this, that, and the third that you try to come up here and clean up your statements with. The fans who are consciously asking, want you to stand behind the motives that you said that or seem to have been putting out there. That's it. Simple as that. We are simply asking, oh, okay, well, if you can fight Conor Benn, what's the problem with you going up, to 47 to fight Devin? 47 is one weight class from where this man is at now, from where this man has been since January, ladies and gentlemen. What's the goddamn problem? You talk about catch weights of 44. 44 is fucking welterweight. 43.5 is welterweight. You come in at fucking 44. That ain't got nothing to do with Devin. Like the Bill said, we're going to come in at 47, 46 and a half or whatever it is that we weigh in that night. You can come in at your 42, 43 or whatever. It's still welterweight. But you're not going to demand that of me, the motherfucking champion of welterweight. You must be out your goddamn mind. Okay? Absolutely diabolical, brothers and sisters. Let me check in with you guys really quickly. I'd love to get your thoughts about what it is that you see on the screen, what it is that you think about these tweets, just in general, all these lamentations, brothers and sisters. Absolutely diabolical. Absolutely diabolical. Oh, and let me show you this before I go in and talk to the good family, because I want your thoughts on this as well. Here's another receipt I got for you guys. Look at this. Look at this. Did you hear this man capping about not being offered undisputed? What is wrong with Shakur Stevenson, ladies and gentlemen? According to him, he was not offered undisputed. The chance at undisputed, brothers and sisters. Let's read this together, shall we? He says when, because the good brother How Boxing Works had made a tweet about Shakur Stevenson being the only person to turn down the chance to fight for undisputed. Okay? And then Shakur responds to that and he says, when? What offer did I get for undisputed? If somebody told you I got an offer for undisputed, they lying. Social media made up a story that they wanted and ran with it, like always. Do you believe this? Shakur Stevenson was not offered undisputed, brothers and sisters. He was not offered anything concerning undisputed. It was a story that was generated according to this man, and we just took it and ran with it. These are things this man has been saying. You see the receipts. No Photoshop, no fucking filter, brothers and sisters. This is what this man tweeted. Okay? Absolutely crazy work. Look at this other receipt I got for the good family. Look at this. Look at this. And of course, I had to interject. Right? So he says, boxing, this is so outrageous, you guys. I can't wait to get your thoughts. Let's read it together. Boxing Twitter tricked me into doing business with Kid Austin and waste my time. Look, we're not even going to get into that because we know what he meant. And waste my time. I'm in the driver's seat now. Can you believe this? Boxing to, because I want to talk about blaming fans. First, now he's blaming us for telling him to, to go to, 47. That's what he was insinuating. You want me to fight 130? Now you want me to fight 147? Blah, blah, blah. You telling me, making all these demands on me, yada, yada, yada. Here he is once again, blaming the fanship. Boxing Twitter tricked me into doing business with Kid Austin. When the fuck do you guys have? Can you guys pull up in your brain computer when we, the 10 toes motherfucking boxing fans, okay, the steadfast ones, when we have ever, or anybody for that matter, because I don't remember it any goddamn where, have made any demands or stipulations that this man do business with Kid Austin in any way? Where were these demands, ladies and gentlemen? Who was asking for that fight? Who was even asking for that fight? Were there any demands for that fight that you guys can recall? This is precisely why, brothers and sisters, I wrote the following. Twitter tricked you into doing business with Schofield? When was that fight in great demand? You can't make this stuff up. Right? It's like, when was there a demand? Did anybody remember any stomping of feet, any banging on tables, any beating down doors to get a Schofield and Shakur Stevenson fight made, brothers and sisters? Do you guys remember these demands that this man is talking about? So much so that he was tricked because of these demands. Y'all tricked me because you just kept so adamantly and persistently begging me to fight Schofield. I was tricked and I just went along with it and made that fight with him. But now the tables done turned. I'm in the driver's seat now. Can you, it's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about, young sir? Who the fuck ever asked this man to fight Schofield? Schofield was a better option. I would say Schofield was received as a fight because prior to that, he fought the motherfucking electrician. So that when he took the fight with Schofield, you know what I'm saying? Whatever, or was the electrician the replacement for Schofield? I think the replacement was the electrician was the replacement for Schofield, if I remember correctly, right? But that we wanted you to fight somebody goddamn viable at damn 35, because Purple Pain Davis wasn't trying to fight, anybody at that time. We don't know what he was doing at that damn time. Probably somewhere painting his damn toenails. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And, for whatever reason, there was no unification activity, whatever, happening in 35. So that Schofield had been ranked so that, we was like, okay, well, we will accept that for you because you can't get Purple Pain. The other champions are doing whatever it is that they're doing. A lot of politicking obviously going on. Schofield is somebody who is unproven, considered, deeply and heavily to be a prospect, but we definitely consider him to be, a power fighter, power puncher, stuff like that. Oh, okay, that could be interesting. We accepted that fight. We did not demand that fight, brothers and sisters. You tell me if I'm tripping or if my memory is a little bit blurry. There was no damn demand. Nobody stamping their damn feet for him to fight no damn Schofield. We were stomping our feet and demanding that you fight Purple Pain Davis. That's who the demand was for you to fight. What is this man talking about? What's this man talking about? Not before that. He fucking fought, what's the name called? He fought, what's that dude's name? Bum, Artem Bum, as the beautiful King BF calls him. You fought goddamn Frank Martin's leftovers. That's who you fought. So that, it was a breath of fresh air to say, okay, I guess if that's what you want to call it, to say, okay, well, now at least it's Schofield. Schofield is untested, unproven, as far as, somebody anywhere near the stature or, credibility of Shakur Stevenson. But, he can box. It's a better fight than Artem Bum, right? There were no demands for that fight, brothers and sisters. Why is this capery happening? But these are the type of things, these are the lamentations that this man has just been throwing all across social media the past couple of days. It's been absolutely diabolical to me. Here's another one. Here's another one, good people. Look at this. Look at this. Pray on my downfall. It won't work. Y'all can't stop me. Huh? Nigga, who's praying on this man's downfall? We asking you to fight the best so that you can rise, you goddamn imbecile. We want you to be proven. The demand is that you prove yourself. We don't want you to have a seat. We asking you to goddamn grow some balls and stand the fuck up. You understand? What the fuck downfall is? What is he talking about? Downfall. Even my ass, who's totally fed up with this man, still wants to see him rise. Still wants to see him get in there with the best. Because regardless of the fact that I don't really fuck with his moves, you know what I'm saying? I want to see his skill set exemplified because he is still among the beautiful elite black brothers in the sport. And above all things, I want to support my brothers. I want to see your greatness. I want to call the fire out of you. That's what I want. Beautiful brother. Yes, I come hard with that pressure. Yes, I come heavy with that pressure because you are sitting down. Stand up and stand beautifully, young brother. What are you doing? Why are you playing? Go on the battlefield. I'm calling to your manhood, to your warriorship. All of these young brothers. Ain't nobody praying for no damn downfall. And that's precisely why I responded, ladies and gentlemen. You're on a fast tracking toward creating your own downfall. With this cowardice that he is exemplifying, brothers and sisters. With this evasion that he is constantly partaking in. With his inability to accept accountability, as my good brother, the great Mike, had posited earlier. And all this, that, so forth, etc., that we can run the gamut on that this man has been doing, exemplifying all types of levels of cowardice. This man thinks that critique is castigation. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen. We got a lot of hating ass people out here, right? But our critique in this particular space and within and among the spaces of our people like the good brother Blue Blood Sports, like our beautiful brother, the King, beautiful King BFTB, 7-8, and all the real ones out here standing, the queens. You know what I'm saying? Who do this, who respect this, who love this, and want to support our beautiful black warriors in what it is that they do. There is no prayer of downfall for you. We want upliftment. We want representation. We want steadfastness, valiance, uprightness, temerity. That's what we call forward, right? But of course, we are going to have questions and our own posits and lamentations when we see the opposite happening. Okay? So it's just a bunch of crazy work. Crazy work. Capping about being offered undisputed. Talk about people just hating on him. You know what I mean? Oh, I was tricked into where's your accountability? How the fuck you get tricked into making a goddamn a fight deal that you are going to risk your life for in the ring? How don't you take accountability for the life that you're putting on the goddamn line? I was tricked into doing business with Kid Austin. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Here's another lamentation. So much cap on my name every day. This is sick. Just know I'm with the shits. And all these names y'all talking will have to deal with me. I just pray y'all bet against me when I catch up. Here we go. Here we go again. Bet against me again. Here I am being picked on. You can bet against me all you want. Who the fuck is betting against him, ladies and gentlemen? Who is this ghost he is talking about? Right? So much cap on his name every day. It's sick. Just know I'm with the shits. Really? Why the fuck are you ducking and goddamn evading, young sir? That's what he don't like. He don't want these questions asked. He just wants to mosey on about as he pleases. Unaccounted for. Unchecked. You with the shits. Why are you ducking the shits? Because I see a whole lot of smoke coming from you from that DHP side. There was a whole lot of energy coming at you from that Oshaki side. Take your goddamn pick. Are you too small? Are you going to live up to having your small waist and your tight snatched waist like Janet Jackson, like Sugar Free, like goddamn, the Empress Emma, like my beautiful sis Cammy Cam, where you just so cute and delicious? If that's so, then you should have no goddamn problem fighting a 130 pounder coming up to 35, coming up to 40. You so small, right? But on the other hand, that's kind of an admission that you're not so small, right? But apparently you're too small for Devin. One weight class above you. Meanwhile, you offer him a fight, within 3 pounds, he has to meet you. 3 pounds down from motherfucking 140. What is going on? Like, all of these charades are crazy. It's crazy. It really is like, is he schizophrenic? What is happening here? What's happening here? Diabolical work. And this is exactly why I responded, you can't catch up to them if you're ducking them. You can't catch up to them if you're ducking them. I just pray y'all bet against me when I catch up to them. How the fuck you gonna catch up to the them who you want the shits with when you're evading? Doesn't work. Go show and prove. That is the only demand that you have on you, is that you go and show that mastery. Go ahead and show that prowess. Go ahead and show that valiance. That's it. All of the things that you say you have, nothing extra. Everything that you say you have is what the real ones in boxing want to see you exemplify and live out. That is it. That is it. Let me check in with the good fam. Ooh, salute to the King Stormy in the building. I see you. I see you. Salute to Jay. I see you. He says salute. He says speak to that gospel. Listen, we up in here cooking. Okay. I'm just scrolling through here. Salute to the King Stormy. Once again, I see you in the building. The King Muharib says, Shock said that they are all the same size from 130 to 47. That makes sense. That definitely makes sense. People want to act like, these people don't cut weight. Like, that's a part of the delusion that's been going around, about the tight and tiny tour that Shakur and the slick beard Jive Turkey have been on, trying to convince people of this man's small, demure little frame. It's not true. These, Shakur Stevenson cuts weight just like the young King cuts weight. Young King cuts weight just like Tio cuts weight or whatever have you. They cut weight. Loma cut weight. Oshaki cuts weight. Frank Martin cuts weight. Purple Pain cuts goddamn weight, ladies and gentlemen. What are we doing? What are we doing? But this man has been lying, capping so disgustingly. Shakur. You know what I'm saying? That he even had that man, that damn, what's his name? Shay, whatever the hell his name is. Talk about, oh no, you probably barely weigh 141. You probably, you fight at 140, but you probably don't weigh more in reality than 145 as your walk around weight. And he let that man sit up there and believe that, because that's the idea, was to convince the world that he's so small, because that was the very thing that him and the slick beard jive turkey contrived behind the scenes. That was the very master plan that they had worked on and generated to use as the blockade to keep them from fighting Devin. Like, if we can convince the people to back this notion that we are so small, we will be protected in this lie. And that protection will keep us from having to fight Devin. That's all this fucking small talk is about. That's all it's about. How to best keep him away from Devin. All right? Now, lastly, speaking about that, because that's exactly the point that Keyshawn seems to be serving right now, brothers and sisters, with his new entrance and official installation into the welterweight division, thanks to the slick beard jive turkey, who ensured that upon receiving the proposition from DHP, that they will have a protection plan in place for Shakur Stevenson. And what was that? To insert Keyshawn Davis into 147 so that he can be used as the guard dog for the protection of Shakur Stevenson. That's what that is, because all of a sudden he's installed into 147 upon them getting this offer to fight Shakur Stevenson and to fight Keyshawn Davis, right? He is absolutely the sacrificial lamb, brothers and sisters. That's what it is from my perspective. You tell me if you see otherwise. This man's purpose, Keyshawn Davis, right, as exposed by the slick beard jive turkey and E.T. Stevenson, because that's the plan that was put together now, okay? His purpose for Keyshawn Davis is to shed his blood for their win, for that protection. You go on out in front, right? It's like the infantry, the first line of defense on the ground. You go on out first. Now you hear, if you catch one or two, it's for the greater good out here, right? That's what that's looking like to me. I swear to goodness that Shakur Stevenson is running an errand boy service out here. Like, he needs to open up a business for, strictly errand boys, the way he got these men out here doing his biddings, brothers and sisters. Absolutely diabolical. Within a week, we see these men on his supposed team being absolutely sacrificed. Absolutely sacrificed. Shakur Stevenson needs to open up a courier service. Diabolical work. Last week, he had baby boy Ford out there attempting to clean up his work with Oshaki, failed and crashed and burned miserably. Now, a week later, we got goddamn Keyshawn ADD Davis out here about to take a bullet for you against the young King Devin. What is going on? Why can't this man do his own work? Yes, the young king wants both of them. But the point is that Shakur has been ducking and swerving and doing everything to dodge the bullet. Dodge the bullet. And so they officially installed Keyshawn at 47 to say, here, take him. He's the one. Take him first. He's at 47, you see. Shakur is too small. Right? As we heard the slick beard jive turkey say on that goddamn interview not too long ago. What kind of soap opera charade is going on here? Is this boxing or no? Like, what are all these maneuvers and little gestures and twists and turns, and what is this? Just say you don't want the work. And even though Shakur has been deposited into welterweight, installed into the welterweight division, he don't want it. As aforementioned when we discussed in the preface of today's discussion, brothers and sisters, when we looked at that footage, that man wants absolutely no parts. of the work with DHP. He's totally and completely a sacrificial lamb in this instance. The damn slick beard jive turkey didn't give a damn about ADD Davis brothers and sisters. He immediately, as soon as he got word of that offer, the seriousness, okay, of DHB coming to, make the proposition to fight both of them, that jive turkey ran to petition the WBO for Shakur to be ranked number one. It's like, here, take him, take our firstborn, so that we could save the beloved little daffodil over here that we want to protect. Take Keyshawn instead. ASAP. No thought about it. Jive Turkey didn't wince. He didn't mince no words. He didn't blink an eye. Take Keyshawn. Take him. He's the one. Go ahead. Take him. Right? He said, I can't risk putting my biggest name on the chopping block. I can't risk getting him up there on that good old chopping block. Here, take him instead, and do what you will. All right? And like I said, this is definitely a fight that we want to see nonetheless, right? Because inevitably, we wanted to get to the point where we could see the Young King and all of these dudes out here. So that Keyshawn had already been on the hit list, right? But we're talking about the principle, the action, the motivation underneath it, because both of them can easily go to 47 and fight Keyshawn. It's just I wanted to dramatize it for you so that you can see the natural embedded dramatization of the fact that they are sacrificing Keyshawn instead of saying, yes, they both want the smoke. Both of my fighters can beat you. That jive turkey don't think that Core can beat Devin. And he obviously doesn't mind risking it when it comes to Keyshawn Davis, as opposed to Shakur Stevenson. Which is what I want you to juxtapose in your mind. I can't state enough how ridiculous Keyshawn looked in that phone call, brothers and sisters, with Bill. Just reflecting on it once again in my brain, in watching the video in its entirety. The man all of a sudden saying, "Oh, call my manager." He's saying little things that show a sense of recoiling. Okay, retracting in his seat. Bill is over here making it as plain as day that they want the smoke with this chump. And he's saying, but, don't you got to get ready first? I just fought. So it's different for me. Don't y'all got to get ready, though, for a fight? Y'all want to fight, but don't y'all got to get ready for the fight? I'm like, y'all remember that part in the video? I'm like, excuse me? Why would you even be concerned? These men are sitting up here talking about they want to take your head off your shoulders. And you're like, well, don't you all got to prepare? Why are you worried about what they need to do? Why are you worried about their preparation or their training or what it is that they do to get ready? They telling you they ready. Only thing you need to be worried about is smoke. That's it. Oh, you said what? Oh, okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. We don't duck nothing over here. You talk about, well, don't you got to powder your nose? Don't you got to fix your belt? Don't you got to put on your shoe? Don't you got to, tighten your tie? What? That's why I said everything in that video suggested everything but smoke being wanted as far as Keyshawn Davis's energy is concerned. Crazy, crazy work. Body language, he wanted no problem. The awkward moments of laughing in between brothers and sisters. No gusto, absolutely no alacrity being displayed. He showed no interest in wanting to fight. No excitement about the fight in that video clip. It's just chump energy from top to bottom. Top to bottom, ladies and gentlemen. It's been diabolical in viewing that. And did you guys see that even though all of that was being had, this man, ADD Davis, had the goal to post the following. Now, I made this little meme now. This meme right here, I made that, right? With his little clown bow tie and the face behind him like, nigga, please. I added that. That's my own little posit, right? But I clipped what Keyshawn had written in a post on Instagram a couple of days ago. And the clip says, the little post he wrote, the caption says, Debo gonna get hit with a brick, so that he reiterated the statement that he said, in that infamous now video of the parody that he did with the whole Friday, whatever nonsense it was, trying to call out Devin and making a mockery of himself while doing so, right? Debo gonna get hit with a brick, so that he reiterated it, ladies and gentlemen. Look how foolish this is. If Debo's gonna get hit with a brick, why the fuck you didn't? Why you not agreeing to the terms? Why were you shaking in your boots when Bill Haney said call the slick beard jive turkey? Why were you shaking in your goddamn boots when Bill said call Shakur? Call both them niggas. But when he gets home on Twitter, now he got the balls enough to say Debo gonna get hit with a brick. You really just can't make this up. You really just can't make this up, ladies and gentlemen. And all the while they doing all that goddamn trembling and running and tucking of tails, right? This is what the young king is saying. Debo coming. Debo coming. While they do all that motherfucking pump faking and goddamn clout chasing and running and hiding under mattresses, okay? Debo is saying, I am coming for you. As we know, he posted the clip on his Twitter a few days back during the week, showing when Shakur Stevenson had called him out for a fight. And he's saying, look, nigga, don't be acting like I'm the boogeyman alone. Don't be acting like you ain't been talking your shit as well. You called my name, right? Don't act like you the little prissy Miss Damsel in goddamn distress out here. You called my name too. My stance has never changed. You are the fickle one. You are the inconsistent one. You are the counterfeit one. I still want you. Yes, Debo coming. Y'all see the caption. Y'all see the goddamn caption, ladies and gentlemen. 10 toes ain't nothing less on the DHP side. It been that, and it's still that. Where you at? I still want that smoke. Where these niggas at for the smoke? But they're the best in the world. How are you ducking and goddamn tucking your tails like this? What is this? How many times does this nigga have to tell you that he's outside? Doesn't make sense. That's what Debo is doing. All the while these men are out here pump faking. He's 10 toes with it saying, yes, ain't nothing changed. You can still get it. Both of y'all and everybody else. This is also what the young Debo is doing. Right? When it was announced, the day it was announced that, Keyshawn had been installed officially into welterweight. This is the young king. Let's get it, Keyshawn, in caps. And that is capitalized as if to say, nigga, for the fucking 11th time, I'm telling you, you can't get it. What's popping? How many goddamn times do I have to say it? Let's get it. You've been on a hit list for I don't know how long, over a year now. Where you at? How many times do I have to call your name? Come out of hiding and get this work. Right? That's Debo. And lastly, before we close out, brothers and sisters, to round this out, this is most certainly appropriate. Right? As far as how we're stepping, and definitely that Debo energy. Stop being a bitch and come on. Do you want the smoke or not? The offer has been made. Nothing else needs to be said but yay or nay. But stop fucking faking out here like you with it, knowing that you're not. Say what it is, because they have no other option now. They have been totally exposed. You accept the agreement or you don't. You want the fight or you don't. There is no in between. Do you want to fight or no? We don't need to be deluded. We don't need to be, making up all types of mirages in our minds, all types of, appropriations or anything like that. That is what it is. Do they want the fight or don't they? Okay? That's what it comes down to. That's all it boils down to. And apparently, from the actions that we have been witnessing over the past few days, okay, it's looking mighty shaky on their side with Whack-This Squad. They're not trying to get active when it comes to the young king or any type of challenge. as exemplified when it came to the King Oshaki, right? Let me check in with the good people before we get out of here. Great cook, you guys. I'm definitely thankful for you guys coming in. Hold on, let me scroll through here. Yes, twin, short and sweet. That's all Devin needs. Absolutely. Absolutely. Salute to the king. Legacy. He says, got Shakur weak ass tweet on the screen. Salute. Right. Let's see what else the good family said. Salute John Martin in the building. He put a 9 for me. Thank you so much. He says, beautiful queen, SugarFreeMars. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Marin. I don't like to lose looking ass. That's precisely what it is, King. Diabolical work. Who is this? Ali, is that what that says? Ali Day. He says, fact, Shakur is a good fighter, but also a coward. Yes, he is a good fighter. He's a good fighter. And it's unfortunate that we can't put him even beyond the point of good. I mean, good is good, right? But then he says he's great. He says he's the best, but us real ones are not going to be able to place him there as far as that level of stature is concerned, or to be able to certify or accredit him being great, right? Or anywhere beyond good, because the cowardice is preventing him from exhibiting that. I would like to call him great. I would like to, like we discussed earlier, I would like to give him that crown. But you don't just simply get it, thrown at your damn feet. No. If the giants, if the beautiful black kings before him, the giants who paved the way in this beautiful sport that we love called boxing, brothers and sisters, had to get in there and take it, had to get in there and earn it, pass through that fire. Who the fuck is Shakur Stevenson think he could sit pretty on a goddamn mountaintop picking roses? The fight game don't change. The fight game is the fight game, brothers and sisters. Valor has to be earned one way. And that is by proving it. That is by action and exacting one's aggression to take the throne, to claim the turf, etc. and so forth. He's not exempt. He does not get omitted from that simply because he just wants the glory. No, you got to work for that. You got to put your hands in that soil. You got to put your hands in that soil. You got to get dirty with it. You got to go take it. You got to go till the land, if you want it to respond to you. And that's the mentality that I think is soiling the sport very much. It's like this diva entitlement type of posture that he and a few others seem to be taking right now, including Keyshawn Davis. It's strange. It's awkward and it's out of place. Absolutely out of place. And this is why we got the young king stepping the way he's been stepping and representing the way he's been representing, because he does not entertain for a moment that level of juvenility. Young King is out here on warriorship time at all times, and he wants to prove it with the best. That's why he is calling the name of Shakur Stevenson. That's why he has called the name of Purple Pain Davis. That's why he even wants to get it in with Keyshawn Davis, because Keyshawn Davis is a really good fighter. One of the fighters that we consider to be, among the most premier and of the most potential. He wants it with the people that's considered to be the best, considered to be worthy, so forth and so on. He is not running away from it or recoiling away from it. He's saying, oh, you think they got the name? Bring him to me because you think he has the name. Not the opposite. What is Shakur Stevenson and Shakur and Keyshawn on? What are they thinking? It's ridiculous to me, brothers and sisters. Absolutely preposterous. Salute to the King Rodney. He says SugarFreeMars is saying Core got a full Secret Service team covering him. Don't he? This man got every type of bidding handled for him. He don't got to lift a finger. Apparently, he can just throw people, to the goddamn wolves at will, which is crazy work, right? The great Mike says Jay Prince is obviously protecting Shakur. Absolutely. That old jive turkey definitely knows what he's doing. That name makes me laugh every time I say it. The slick beard jive turkey. I mean, because that's what he is. You know what I'm saying? Salute to Raul Garcia. He says, salute, Sugar. Blessings to you, King. You're listening in. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, King Slim. Operation Human Shield. Absolutely. Perfect tagline for that. Absolutely. Operation Human Shield in effect, King Slim. 1000%. The great Mike also says, Shakur put up more hurdles than a track coach. Damn. 1000%. Absolutely. Could not agree more. Okay. Salute, Aliko. I see you in the building. I see you. He says, those guns come in handy. I swear. 86,000. Oh, okay. Y'all had to 86. Y'all had to 86,000 somebody. Listen, y'all are modded up for a reason. You know how to take out the trash. Okay. Salute to the good people. I scrolled the ways up. Salute to the King Devil. I see you. He says what? He says Big V Nair Albright was just fine after the fight. He was. Albright, R&B Albright was certainly fine. He looked like he went for, you know what I mean, a little jog. I think he had a little scuffle here and there, maybe around his eye, but barely noticeable, right? I think I'll leave you guys on that note. Like I said, infinite blessings to all the people who came in. Who else? Who we got up in here? Nan. Hey, Nan. He says, you are one of the very best. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nanny. How do you say your name? Naniara. Blessings to you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you. Yes, I see you giving me greetings. Blessings to you. I appreciate your presence in the building. Definitely, love to see, new faces in the building. Recurring faces, the good family. It's always good to, hang out with you guys and talk some boxing with you guys and get your perspectives on this stuff that goes on in these boxing streets, beautiful people. I'm hoping that we can get some materialization, going in the coming months. We definitely are anticipating to see some type of return from, the young king, Devin, to come into the ring. Who that opponent will be is yet to be announced, but we are absolutely not in the dark about who he wants. Okay, DHP is stepping how they're stepping. They mean what they say what they mean. All right, and this is why they have my unyielding support 10 toes, because they don't leave me in the dark about their goals and their motivations, right, and the direction that they have for themselves. So we need that. What is it that Shakur is going to do? Nobody goddamn knows. We don't know if he's going to stay at 140. We don't know who the fuck he's going to fight. He's flirting with Lamont Roach 1 second. Next thing you know, he's cursing out somebody in the middle of the ring saying, I want you, I got to have you, I need you, and ducking and tucking tails. What's going on? What's going on with Keyshawn Davis? Who is he going to fight, right? It's obvious that the Devin fight is totally up for grabs for him. They want him. What is he going to do? These dudes got all types of questions surrounding them, and it's crazy. Crazy work, so hopefully we see the young King Devin, solidified in whatever it is that he's going to do. I'm definitely going to be standing in support of that. I want to see him fight Shakur Stevenson. I want to see him fight Keyshawn Davis. Like I said, two wonderful fights are on the table, but are they man enough to accept the challenge is the question. That's all it comes down to, ladies and gentlemen. Do they want the work or nah? And so far it's looking heavy on the nah. And on that note, beautiful people, thank you so much for joining. Definitely hit the like button on your way out. Definitely share the video if you guys enjoyed our discussion today. Oh, my beautiful king. Hey, beautiful king, BFTB. Lovely to see you, king. Thank you so much. You came at the tail end. Blessings to you, king. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining. Peace to my good family. You guys, if you are not a member of my channel, definitely consider becoming a member, because I began putting up some content exclusively and only for my members. All right, my member family. Infinite blessing to my members up in the building. My beautiful sis, the great Mike, my twin Daryl Anderson, the Queen, my beloved Shaquilla Fields, right? And any of the members who were up in here today. I got some stuff on the way for you guys as well. For anybody who isn't a member, definitely consider becoming one, or just, whatever it is that you want to do. I definitely, support your presence. I appreciate you coming in to check on your girl. I hope you guys have a fantastic week ahead. Infinite peace, infinite blessings to my good family. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.